Breaking down Keep Me Company, part 10, Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is about having a conversation with yourself, looking in the mirror and talking to yourself, right? It's about doubting yourself and then you talking back to yourself. Like, what's wrong with you? What you talking about? Get up, right? Like, nah, we don't do that. There's no reason for you to doubt yourself. There's no reason for you to downplay your accomplishments, what you've done, what you've made, what you've built, and who you are. So, sentiment is only gonna get you so far. Pick and choose a co-defendant or a co-star. Like, what side of the fence do you want? You wanna be a co-D, or you wanna be the co-star of something amazing? You wanna be a part of something to build something amazing? A closing argument, like a co-defendant, or the beginning of a prologue, something celebrated, talking about what you've done. A closing argument or the beginning of a prologue. In the mirror, pitching you a dream with a coke arm. 86, winner take all, not good and shit. Skipping the parade for the sakes of whatever could have been. And on the other side with all the lookouts looking in, and by the looks of it all, looking ain't all you took from it. So let's go back to all of that. Doc Gooden in 86 with the Mets when they won. You know the story of how the Mets won championship and he didn't go to the parade. He watched it on TV, he was on a coke bench, right? Part of that was because he had an addiction, but I think part of that was also because he couldn't believe what he had pulled off. And maybe not even was sure if he was worthy of it, even though he did all the work to get it. He was absolutely worthy of it and deserved everything about it because he did that work. But I think there may have been a part of him who felt like he was undeserving and he didn't go. He just was on a coke binge. You know, he said he was in New York on a coke binge with some homies, you know, with some dealers. And he missed the parade. You know, he missed that parade of the brilliance that he pulled off in that series and in that season of his career. 86, winner take all, Doc Gooden shit. Skipping the parade for the sakes of whatever could have been. Worrying about whatever could be instead of what's right now. On the other side with all the lookouts, looking in, the guys who's looking at you every night in the game and you with them now, like, you know, on the other side with all the lookouts looking in, and by the looks of it all, looking ain't all you took from it. Took us shoulder rubbing with pushers like Curtis Mayfield drops in Good Virginia Cook Up, and all the malice threaded through the journey that they booked us, right? Curtis Mayfield, Pusher Man, but also Pusha T, Virginia. Curtis Mayfield drops in Good Virginia Cook-Ups and all the malice, Pusher, malice, the clips, you know, but all the malice threaded through the journey that they booked us. There's malice threaded through this journey that they booked us on. Know when to jump ship, wade waters before they crook us, right? Slavery. Know when to jump ship and wade waters like the Igbo tribe. Know when to jump ship and wade waters before they crook us. Cause ain't no such thing as the halfways, halfway crooks, Mob Deep. Ain't no such thing as the halfways. The script stays backstage, mending up the wound and wondering what your cast made. Your wound, you're trying to mend it up, tend to it, your cast, but also your cast, the script, mending up the wound and wondering what your cast made, leading you from where they do the noticing at. They don't want you to be noticed when you win it. And here you are not noticing that you won, right? Good thing we learned how to fit a crown over the naps. They looked at us as nappy-headed, cotton wool-headed, XYZ, put us down. We was able to fit a crown over them same naps that they looked down and downplayed and made us feel bad for having in our natural state. Now look around. 2020 vision to get you off the ground. All the beauty found, you know? Second verse. Pressure is a privilege. Proof that nobody ever left you in the scrimmage. Loop that, swap it out the deck with your intentions. Pressure is a privilege. It's proof that nobody ever left you in the scrimmage. You couldn't be left in the scrimmage if you got that pressure on you. That means you made it out of the scrimmage. That means you're better than just a scrimmage. You in the game now. You in the league, right? You're in it now. You prove that you belong. So if you got pressure, that's a privilege. The people who ain't worth nothing, the people who don't have what it takes, they never have pressure on them. Who has pressure on somebody who you don't think is capable, right? Melo had pressure on him. Braun got pressure on him. KD, pressure. Heads who's on the, the end of the bench, heads who don't make it to the league, there's no pressure on them. Pressure's on you because you're supposed to be worthy. So that's a privilege. It's proof that nobody ain't leave you in the scrimmage, baby. You know what I mean? Loop that, swap it out the deck with your intention. Swap that out the tape deck. Like, subscribe to that, embrace that, know that that's what it is. Roof back, looking like the rest of them will get it, right? The ones who get it are the ones they win it and they able to succeed. throw the roof back on the car, they moving around, drop the top. They got that because they won. They won because they knew pressure was a privilege and they embraced it. Roof back, looking like the rest of them would get it. In memory of fighting the urge of a tug of war, juggling and wondering what you juggling for. You juggling the juxtapositions, the yin and the yang, should I not? And then you sit back like, what am I doing? What am I juggling this for? Put one down. I know where I'm supposed to be. Juggling and wondering what you juggling for. Until it's both hands on the theory they brung along, told them do as they please, as long as they double yours. You like at the end of the day, as long as we gonna win, as long as you double what I'm supposed to get in my pay, I'm good, right? 4 walls boxed in. You feel caged in, boxed in. 4 walls boxed in, splitting up the room now. Hidden guilty pleasures like you listening to Moonchild. Moonchild is a, kind of a neo-soul group, but they don't look like me, right? So it's kind of a hidden guilty pleasure. You're like, should they be singing like this and making this music and succeeding like this? Where if they didn't look the way they look, but they look like me, would they be as successful? Different conversation. Honest one, but a different conversation. Hidden guilty pleasures like you listening to Moonchild. Rally to the front door. You know how the motive go. The alley is a gun store. It's best to be Kalojado. Talking about Bronx Tale. They running to the front door. They running out the house trying to get it, right? C was running out the house trying to get it. Kalojado was running out. Like, I got to get out the house. I got to go outside. I got to be out there. That's where they winning at. That's where they at. You know how the motive go. That was the motive, right? The alley is a gun store. They was in the alley where Duke popped the trunk, had the hammers for sale. It's best to be Kalojado. Kalojado fell back on that, Kalojado fell back even when it all started coming apart and Sonny was like, see what you're doing, get out of here. And they got that kid up out of there. Kalojado was able to get out of the situations at just the right time, regardless of if you realized it or not. It's best to be Kalojado. Splitting the room like a Molotov crime scene. Each side telling each side, yo, get behind me. The scene at the end where the Italians tried to blow up the black business in the black neighborhood on Webster Ave. They threw the Molotov joints in there. It went crazy. C went over there, Kalojado went over there with Jane. Each side telling each side, get behind me, right? It was like they was both trying to protect each other without knowing, The black kids was like, yo, go, get out of here, man, get out of here. They about to go crazy, XYZ, The Italians was trying to fight for them. It was all that going on, right? Each side telling each side, yo, get behind me. The Italians was trying to do that to them. The black kids wound up trying to save C at the same time. Each side telling each side, yo, get behind me. It's just a conversation had quietly. Flowers got thorns, but it's fine, B. Like, yeah, flowers may have thorns on them. It may hurt to pick them, but it's fine. I promise, it's fine, B. I mean, look around, The third verse is, the view is wild different with a frame around it. Let's hope that you don't feel no sort of way about it. Being guarded like you prayed about it. Elbows out like it's candy paint around it, right? Like when you pray, your elbows is out. Candy paint on the whip. Texas, candy paint on the whip. Usually got them elbows on the tires, right? Being guarded like you prayed about it. You're guarded, but then you also, God guards you. You guarded, like if you pray, you feel like now you're guarded, you're covered, you're protected because you prayed on it. Being guarded, but also dukes up, being guarded like you prayed about it. Elbows out like it's candy paint around it. See, they don't tell you the parade is outlined with help. Nobody built like you designed yourself, Jay-Z line. For the pressures that you never realized you felt. It's a mirror facing a mirror trying to find some help. Look around. Like I said, the whole record is about talking to yourself and talking yourself out of doubt when it's right there covering you. Sleeping Beauty.